Hi guys, I really miss you, and today we're headed to hot South America, and I decided to start our journey from Peru, the city of Lima. The ocean and seascapes, incredible colonial architecture, and the history of Peruvian culture are all familiar signs for tourists. But what about the ritual sites, pyramids, traditions, and even guinea pigs, which played an important role in the culture of ancient Peruvian civilizations? Ha! I knew how to grab your attention, right? Hurry up, grab your favorite drink, something tasty, and let's go explore the mysterious place of Lima. Welcome to Sweet Channel, and let's finally get started! Lima is a beautiful city with incredible architecture. But for this episode, I'd like to start with the Miraflores district, home to an important historical discovery, Huaca Pucllana. Today we're gonna explore all this location and just wanna tell that we came here and bought the tickets. The tickets was around 15 solis. These tickets provide you to do this excursion with a guide. You can go by yourself, so just because of the rules, and this tour will take around 1 hour and just waiting for our guide. Huaca Pucllana. What is it, you may ask? And I will tell you. It's an archaeological complex of the Lima civilization, built between 200 and 700 AD. In simple terms, it's a pyramid located right in the heart of the Lima metropolis. Oh my goodness, please comment below if I'm not the only one who thought pyramids only existed in Egypt. How embarrassing. So, over here we see a huge square, and this square was hidden a lot of 100,000 years from people, and just in 20th century people found it. Amazing. I can't even imagine, because before this was just some desert. So yeah, it's really interesting. The most amazing thing is that this pyramid was discovered just in 1981 completely by chance, thanks to Isabella Flores Espinosa. She noticed a hill that had long been used as a regular garbage dump. Isabel was puzzled by the structure of the soil on this hill, which didn't seem like part of the natural landscape, and fragments of adobe clay bricks finally confirmed her suspicions. Excavations are still ongoing, and there is evidence that there are more than 350 hakuas in the Lima area, from the Quechua word meaning sacred place, object, or structure. Most of these sacred places belong to pre-Columbian culture, such as the Lima, Wari, Ichma, and Inca civilizations. It's important to know that out of these 350 hakuas, a significant portion remains unexcavated. According to recent data, around 100 hakuas are still buried underground or partially destroyed due to urban development. This is what the uncompleted excavation process looks like, which we witnessed during our tour. By the way, only a small part of the pyramid has been excavated so far, and this is what the second part of the pyramid looks like, still buried under tons of sand. Surprised? Me too. Let's keep going, because ahead are some facts that really made me stop and think deeply. First, let's take a moment to understand the people who lived on this land before the arrival of the Spanish. By the way, I will talk about the Spanish in my next video because their influence on this country was enormous. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell, so you don't miss my upcoming videos. Archaeologists have identified more than 30 cultures and peoples that exist in what is now modern Peru before the arrival of the Spanish. Many structures and technologies discovered from that time still leave numerous questions, even in our modern world. That's why it makes sense to touch on the topic of the construction of the Huaca Pucllana pyramid. As soon as we got closer to the pyramid, my first question was why did they use such an unusual brick-laying system? It's look unique and very beautiful from the outside, but I was eager to understand the true purpose behind it. Well, let's start with the fact that the city of Lima is located in seismically active zone, and earthquakes are quite common here even today. Therefore, such a massive structure had to be stable and strong. And do you know what they did? They laid the bricks in a bookshelf style, where the bricks were placed vertically with the small gaps between them, allowing them to move independently during an earthquake. Honestly, I was amazed by this technology. At first glance, this pyramid, which is about 25 meters tall, doesn't look very sturdy. However, the fact that it has stood for 1825 years speaks volumes. By the way, when it comes to the shape of the pyramid, things are not so simple here either. We are used to seeing pyramids like this, but in the culture of South America, pyramids have a stepped shape, which symbolized the connection between heaven and earth. The top of the pyramid was considered the gateway to the world of gods and spirits, while the lower level responded the world of earthly life. I'd like to point out that the certain markings have been observed on specific sections of the pyramid, which may support the theory that the pyramid was not just a sacred and ritual site, but also served as an astronomical observatory. They could observe celestial phenomena, such as solar and lunar cycles. For example, it's known that from certain points of the complex, there is a perfect view of the sunrise and sunset during specific seasons of the year.
What really interesting and surprised me is that this pyramid doesn't have any entrance, like anything inside. And I like, wow, so for what they use this pyramid? There's a good question, and I think I will find it after this tour.
The tricky guide told us that there are no entrances or exits to this pyramid. But during recent excavations, archaeologists found several mysterious passages. Some of them lead to underground areas that have yet to be uncovered. It's said that the entrance and exit to the pyramid are important elements of rituals, as they symbolize the transition from life to death. For me, this is a real mystery. Just imagine, 3,000 years ago, no one knew about gadgets, exact sciences, or the modern world as we know it. Yeah, I'm sure they knew something that we still don't understand today. Just think about the Nazca Lines, Tascayuman, or Machu Picchu, one of the 7 wonders of the world. I will talk about all of this in my upcoming videos, so don't forget to subscribe and write in the comment which place in Peru you think are worth visiting. Oh, finally, we have reached the part that fascinates me the most: traditions, rituals, offerings, and burials. One of the most important rituals in the Lima culture was sacrifice, as such practices were part of their beliefs. At Huaca Pucllana, archaeologists have discovered small pits that were used for offerings to the gods. You can see them in the video right now. These were typically holes in the ground where sacrificial animals, plants, decorative items, or even humans were offered. An interesting fact is that the remains most often found as offerings were those of women, as they symbolized water and fertility. As we know, Lima is located in an arid region, and such rituals were believed to appease the gods and protect the people from severe droughts and other natural disasters. As we walk next, our guide showed us an area with wooden beams. So, guys, do you see like these wooden pieces? It was higher, actually, and it was covered. And actually, one interesting stuff. Under the wall, there were clay pots with chicha, a traditional drink made from fermented corn, which was very important in their rituals. What is interesting is that shamans would drink these all day to talk to spirit and gods, putting themselves in a trance. Sounds like a pretty unique job, don't you think? Here I noticed large ceramic vessels, with a strange figure sticking out of them. It took me a few seconds to realize this was how the Lima people performed their burial rituals. The deceased were often buried wrapped in fabric or something in leather coverings. They were placed in ceramic vessels that served as burial chambers, along with all the necessary items for daily life, such as pottery, jewelry, and food, of course. This was done to help them transition to the spirit world, where they could continue to exist in the afterlife. By the way, does anyone know which other cultures buried their dead with the other belongings? When we came down from the pyramid, we were taken to a green area with the plants and animals. I just want to say that the Lima people had amazing knowledge of watering systems and used different farming methods to support their communities. After all, in dry Lima, it only rains 6 to 50 millimeters per year, making it one of the driest capital in the world. Besides this, the Lima culture also made great progress in breeding plants and animals. These unique achievements in Latin America had a global impact, as many plants and animals we know today originated exactly here. I was surprised to learn that guinea pigs are a traditional dish in South America. Yeah, guys, for locals, it's part of their cultural legacy. I will admit, my conscience didn't let me try this dish, I want to be honest. This dish called cuy. But if anyone has tried it, tell me how it was and what it tastes like. So, we slowly reached the end of our hour-long tour. The Lima people were truly unique in their own way and left a remarkable mark on history. By the way, right here during excavations, they literally found real footprints of the residents of this settlement. This is what a typical member of the Lima people looked like. The average height of the men and women ranged from 1.55 to 1.65 meters. If you'd like to stay here longer, you can visit the restaurant Huaca Pucllana, which has a stunning view of the pyramid. There, you can enjoy traditional Peruvian food in a nice atmosphere. Here are some classic Peruvian dishes I recommend: ceviche, lomo saltado, ají de gallina, and anticuchas. Peruvian food is one of the most diverse and delicious in the world. Let me know in the comments if you like Peruvian cuisine and which dishes you would recommend trying. So guys, that's it for this episode. I hope I was able to take you to sunny Lima for a little while and show you the history of this ancient culture. Thanks for watching till the end. Don't forget to like, share this video and subscribe if you have not yet. Let me know in the comments, do you think history is always true or could there be more to the story? See you in the next episode. This was Sweet Channel. Big hugs. Bye!